Anyone want an intro? Who wants the intro? You want to do it?
Sure. Hey, this is William with the Royal Rebels. We're all here doing talk shit. Today, we are talking about security blankets.
Thought we were talking about concerts.
I thought we were talking about security blankets.
Anybody know what we're talking about?
What
We're
are we
all
talking
here
about today?
talking today about paying attention.
You don't talk shit. You don't get it. You don't talk shit.
Hey, it's the Royal Rebels. We're here talking shit. Today, the topic is first concerts. Steve, why don't you go kick it off?
My first concert was, the first concert was like Paul Revere and the Raiders, like as like a kid.
Wow.
At Great America.
Oh, was
What kind
it?
of jelly?
Okay, I've seen him. What are the chances it was the same show? Describe. Go. Run with
Well,
it.
they're like wearing pirate. I mean, I was little, so they were wearing like pirate outfits, and you know that's really all I remember. But that was like the first concert. But besides all that, like the first legit concert was Bon Jovi and Skid Row at Shoreline. And Skid Row just comes out and just decimated. It was like I was in at that point. Bon Jovi, Lay Your Hands on Me. It was like It was.
So no, that was.
I was Bad Medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was their second big.
So Bad Medicine come out, and that was that tour, and Skid Row was out on that run with them, and they did like 2 nights at Shoreline, and I went to one, and I was very fortunate because my mom would be like, oh yeah, you want to go? Let's go, and she would take me. I was 12 or 13 or something.
Nice.
Just a kid. How about you?
Me?
Yeah, you.
My first concert was the Guess Who and Steppenwolf free show.
Wow.
As a free show at Santa Clara Fairgrounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then the next one I went to again with Santa Clara Fairgrounds was Ted Nugent and Vicious Rumors. Right? Ted Nugent came out with the loincloth on and swung across the stage.
Vicious Rumors?
Yeah, opened up with Vinnie Moore on guitar, which was great. It was really cool. Vinnie took a face plant though and landed on the stage. But my first big concert, my first real concert was AC/DC with Yngwie opening at Oakland Coliseum. That was incredible. Yeah, that was amazing.
What about you?
I didn't realize until later because I grew up in Gainesville, Florida, and I went to a couple Gator Growls, which are like pep rallies for homecoming. And apparently I had saw Tom Petty a couple times, but I don't really remember. The first concert that I remember, I was in 4th grade, and it was a free show, and it was at the O'Connell Center, which is this big inflatable dome in Gainesville, and it was Weird Al.
I'm sorry, it's the what center?
O'Connell Center.
The O'Connell Center.
Yes, the O'Connell Center.
Nice.
It was Weird Al, and Tesla opened for them.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea who Tesla was. It was before Tesla was. This was, gosh,
Weird
I
Al
was in
probably didn't know
4th grade, so 5th grade. Thriller had come out, and Weird Al's Eat It had come out. So I remember watching the show, and I was like maybe 10 years old, 9, 10 years old, and they had this big video sequence of Weird Al walking down this really ominous hallway with all these platinum and gold records and stuff, and he was going to ask, the King of Pop if he could do a parody of Beat It. And you never saw Michael Jackson, but you saw the jewel glove.
Yeah.
And you just saw this thumb going like that, and Weird Al
Little
just being
Caesar
this
action.
Exactly, he's just doing, and he finally gives them the okay, and then they break in to Eat It. And
What's crazy is I've done Weird Al's show before, and the fat suit has a road case, so it's all in a road case, and it rolls in. It's got all this fragile. You open it up, it's the fat suit.
That's cool.
That's
in
awesome.
a road case.
That's
It's like
awesome. Yeah, that was before, all before Bad and stuff. But the funny thing is, the second real concert that I saw was a couple years later, and it was Poison and Tesla. So actually,
Where was that at?
Twice.
That was in North Carolina.
what tour was that?
That was
Modern-day Cowboy.
Poison's. It was the one I think.
Like Open Up and Say Ah?
Every Rose Has a Thorn
Yeah,
just
so-
came out. That
so
was the
Open
big
Up and
thing.
Say
Yeah,
Ah,
Open
yeah.
Up and Say Ah. I was for some reason enamored with CeCe. For some reason.
Me too, man. I loved
Yeah.
Poison when they
Yeah,
came out.
I mean,
I was in.
I was like
I think
12.
they're great songwriters.
Yeah.
I mean, out the gate, those songs were great. Now I don't know if they wrote all those songs, but I don't care if they did or not. They were great songs.
It was a fun show. I mean,
Yeah.
they played exactly like it sounded like an MTV to my ears.
Yeah.
So I had a good time.
Yeah.
Rick?
What about you?
Wow, man. I think Paul Revere and the Raiders was like the first one I stumbled into. It was the 4th of July at Great America. But that was a free show, so it wasn't like the first one you pay to go see.
Right.
So, but I remember that dude, he had the keyboard looked like the front end of a...
Ship.
No, it was a car.
Oh.
I can't remember.
But I remember the pirate hats. Like, I completely forgot about that until you mentioned it. It's like,
I remember the pirate hat stuck out to me.
yeah, it was like they had the big plumes or whatever it was.
And if you're watching somewhere from not in California or in the Bay Area, Great America is like a theme park. It's like a
Disneyland,
It's like
miniature version.
It's nowhere near
Well,
like Disneyland. It's
miniature version.
not even in the same realm.
It's
Like
started
some
off-
idea. Of
It's
what
a
it
Six
is.
Flags.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It started
Well, a lot
off
of
as
people don't know
a
what that is.
family-owned thing by the Marriott Company.
Then
back
it went to
in
Paramount
70
and like all this stuff.
Yeah, got hands changed and marketing. And
But
whatnot,
to be like it was like Disney is like absolutely not.
It has rides. It has a
Blasphemy.
It has overpriced
I have a
food.
ride.
And it has
Wanna come to
stupid things
Disneyland?
running around in
There's characters,
outfits.
but
Close
No way.
enough. Close enough.
No way. Disneyland in the ghetto, maybe.
so the first concert though that I went to that was like
Disneyland.
deliberate was Charlie Daniels Band.
Oh yeah, was that at the fairgrounds?
Yeah, but you had to pay to go in there and see it. Or I remember my brother took me and we paid to go in, and I had no idea that they even had concerts at the fair.
Man,
And it was out on the racetrack.
Yeah.
You know, they had this really big. I mean, the grandstands were permanent, but they had this. It was like on wheels or something,
that's
like
what I saw,
the
yeah.
stage,
We did-
and it was crazy.
we did Charlie Daniels at a fair, and it was in Lancaster, California, and it's out in the desert, and it's windy as a motherfucker. And Charlie, he's just, man, he was just cool. He comes out in his pressed jeans and his
Yeah.
shirt and his hat, and
Very
like,
starched.
just a cool dude, right?
Yeah.
However, so we're all on headset, we're all running
You're
the
not gonna
show.
ruin my image of him, are you?
No, he was totally cool. But he's sitting down, he's playing, because it was just a few years ago, kind of his older years, right? And he's sitting down playing, and the band's killer, they're all on fire, and it's windy as a motherfucker out in Lancaster. And the guy on Spotlight, and we're all on headset, we're all listening to this. Guy on Spotlight is doing spots, and the wind comes and blows Charlie's hat off. And the spotlight operator follows the hat, and the LD for Charlie Daniels is freaking the fuck out, right? Get off that fucking hat, blah blah blah, what the fuck, blah blah blah. And so it shattered everybody's kind of thing for Charlie Daniels, because it was like, God, that dude freaked the fuck out about a hat. But the funny thing is that it blew off, rolled across the stage, and this fucking spotlight just followed his hat, right? And I was like, oh man.
Forget the
Charlie
concert.
Daniels.
This hat's got a story arc. We're gonna follow it.
Well, his problem was that the spotlight came off of Charlie, right?
Right.
And then followed the hat.
Oh yeah, I get it. But now who would think to do that though? Like the hat is not the story. It's not the entertainer.
It's an artistic moment, and you don't know if Charlie's
funny,
like
though.
sensitive about his hair or whatever, and putting the spotlight
Oh
on the
man,
hat.
that LD had a fucking
could've-
shit fit. Like a shit fit. Yeah.
That's their job.
Good old
to kinda
Lancaster,
freak out,
California. Oh my
you know.
god. Yeah.
Anyway.
Charlie though, man, that was a great show.
So speaking of that kind of thing, have you guys ever met a musician or a hero or a celebrity or whatever that either A, you lost your shit with and forgot who you were, because I've got one of those stories, or they were just not what you expected and you walked away and it's like, man, fuck that guy. Rick?
Somebody. I don't.
It's
think
okay
I've
if
got
you don't.
No, I don't think I've got one. I mean, yeah, we've all been to NAMM, and I think earlier on, I've had those moments where it's like.
So you're just too cool. You just meet people and you don't ever freak out on them.
No. What I was gonna say is, my default is to just.
Because no one from Toto, like Steve Lukather, rolls up and you're not gonna like piss yourself.
No, that's what I'm saying is that's my default is I would go to that.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
I'm not too cool. I'm more like the
fan, consummate fan. Just nervous.
if I had a good question or that opportunity was there, no, that wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to have a valid thought.
I got one of each of those. So the second one's kind of inverse of what you were saying. The first one, I just couldn't. I lost for words. I was at the Florida Theater, which is also in Gainesville, BB King, and I was backstage. And he just comes up and says hi, just the nicest dude. He's got Lucille like kind of slung to his side, and he's wearing it, about ready to go back for his encore. And I was like, dude, you're like in the middle of a show and you smiled at me and said hi, and I just stood there, just speechless.
Yeah.
I probably look like the biggest goof idiot in the world. Like I literally, I wish I would have said, thank you, if anything, because a dude, big hero, so
Dude.
much,
So, not to
No, interrupt.
So
We're
BB
conversation.
King, we do BB King. I've done the show a few times, and both times he was a beautiful human being, right? To me at least. But one of the last times, he remembered who I was, and he was like, "Hey, after the show, come on the bus and hang out," right? And I was like, "All right, cool." So we get done, and I go on the bus, and it's me, BB King, fucking Lucas Nelson, and a couple of my guys, right? Jimmy Arsenault was one of them. The old drummer for Los Bastardos was one of them. And we're hanging out with BB King, and he's telling us these stories just about how Willie Nelson was one of the only artists that was super cool to him in the early days, way back when they were playing for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? And he's telling us these stories, and Lucas Nelson is sitting with us, and Lucas has like never heard these stories. It was a fucking trip, dude. And it was like he's in the back lounge just holding court, and it's just us, a couple of dudes, and Lucas Nelson and fucking BB King, right? So I finally kind of get work up the nuts to kind of go, Mr. King, can I please get a photo with you, right? And he goes, of course. We get this photo, and he's sitting down, and I use it every time I take a photo of you guys or somebody else. I use it all the time. It stuck with me forever. And we're taking this picture, and he looks up at me and Jimmy, and he goes, "Now put your hand on me like you like me," right? And so we put our arms around BB King to get this photo. But that phrase stuck with me, as I use it all the time. Smile like you want to be here, or hey, put your arm around her like you like her. I totally use it all the time. BB King was just amazing.
That's awesome.
So go on.
So yeah, that was just me being an idiot. But the one about meeting someone that either you thought was an asshole or
Just didn't meet your expectations.
Yeah, it was actually the inverse of that, because the guy that I met actually thought would be an asshole and turned out not. It was actually, I was playing a show with this guy in House of Blues in Hollywood. And we were opening for this when you were on stage with Cliff Williams and doing the thing, and we opened the show, and I had gone, we finished our set, I was upstairs in the VIP lounge, and not a couple people there. I was just getting some water. And I went up to the bartender, and like 2 stools down from me, Gene Simmons was just sitting there, I don't know if he was drinking or having water or what he was doing, just hanging out by himself. And it was weird because there was like some really good bass players there. Cliff Williams was there, Geezer Butler was there, Gene Simmons was there. It was weird. Anyway.
Was that a NAMM thing?
No, it was
It was the Rock and Roll One as a concert.
the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp thing. Anyway, and so I just kind of nod, do the cool guy, whatever.
Eyebrow raise.
I'm not even gonna. Everyone has told me this guy is just a jerk, and I'm not even gonna dig a hole. So I'm just gonna nod and take my water and go backstage. And as I'm leaving, Gene Simmons looks over and said, "Hey," I said, "Hey, Mr. Simmons," and he goes, "Great set." And I was just paused for a second. And I was like, "Well, thank you," and then I just walked off, and it just totally flipped the script on. This dude had no reason
to stop
say anything.
you.
To stop me. I was walking away. I was going to leave him to his stuff. No reason to say anything. And it was just a nice thing that just made my week.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, that was my little moment with that.
How about you?
I was going to ask, so you meet these guys. You said Mr. King. You said Mr. Simmons.
Well, you try to be respectful, right? You don't want to be like, "Hey, Gene, what's up?"
Okay, right. So do you think they want to be called out? Do they expect it, or...
I think the same thing. Like, should I?
Or does it matter on the
setting?
setting?
Should I be cool? But for me, I always fall back on respectful. I don't know.
Right.
I've never been introduced to the guy. I don't know him by his first name. He doesn't know my first name.
I mean, they're legends, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
Gene Simmons, BB King, those guys are just top tier legend kind of guys. So I think they've earned the respect to be like, "Hey, Mr. King, Mr. Simmons."
Okay, so I pooched it then.
Well, let me look at it this way. If you were like at a TED Talk or whatever, and you ran into like Bill Gates or Elon Musk, would you say, "Oh, hey Bill, hey Elon," or would you say, "Hey Mr. Musk, what are your thoughts on, nuclear fusion.
I think I would panic. I wouldn't even remember to like speak.
So for me, it's the
or
same
inhale.
thing. These are people who are at the top of their craft, and I think they deserve just as much respect as
Sure.
a president or a CEO or anything. And that's just
Right,
kind
I
of your
agree.
point. They earned it.
Yeah. Then I pooched it because I was watching this show, The Baked Potato, and dude sits down next to me in mid-set. We're already, the show's going on, which is really odd, and so I'm kind of doing this thing, like trying to let him, sneak in, and song ends like, oh man, that was really good. Oh wow, just amazing band, right? And then I kind of see out of the corner of my eye, the guy waves at the waitress. She comes over, and he like goes, "Can I get you a drink?" And I was like as best I can with like this fucked up neck. I looked over at him, and it's David Paich, like from Toto, right? And songwriting legend. I was like, "Oh, bro, nah, I just ordered actually. I'm kind of like messed up." And so, anyways, apparently I've got a lot to learn.
There you go.
But
I ain't saying the way I do it is right. It's just the way I do it.
okay, so maybe it was just that scene. I was kind of like, yeah. So
But you, Bill.
Mine actually correlates with his the House of Blues thing.
Quite the night.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that week, when I was at the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, as a counselor, we'd spend 10 hours a day every single day for like 5 days just rehearsing, right? And then on the fourth night, Cliff Williams was going to come, and that was the whole reason I was there. I just wanted to meet Cliff. That was it, right? So Cliff, it's like already like 10 o'clock, and he hasn't even shown up yet. And I'm like, oh, he's not going to show up, right? So I'm ready to leave. So me and my girlfriend, we walk out of the rehearsal room. It's a big, massive rehearsal room. We walk out, and I literally bump right into Cliff Williams. And it was the only time in my life where I've been like kind of like speechless.
Starstruck?
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit. And I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to, we're not going to jam. Nothing's going to happen, right? I was just like, can I get a picture with you? He's like, sure. So we take a picture together, and he goes, we're going to jam? And I was like, well, and I was like, I looked at my girlfriend, and I'm like, she goes, you better jam. So okay, so we go back in the room. Nick Mason from Pink Floyd is on drums, right? Simon Kirk is on drums from Bad Company. So we jammed for like 2 hours or something like that, till like midnight, and that was awesome. And then after we did the show that night, so I was supposed to go to Neil's house, right? Slowzauer's house, and I so that night. So this is the opposite of, I thought he was going to be a dick, but it turned out not to be, right? So I get a call. Neil was supposed to come to the show. Well, Neil did come to the show, but he was supposed to bring Zach Wilde to the show. So my phone rings, and it's Neil, and I answer the phone, and he goes, hey, bro, it's Zach Wilde. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck, right? He goes, I'm over at Neil's right now. He goes, why don't you come over? He goes, have some barbecue, and, we'll just shoot the shit. And I'm like, all right. So I go over there, and I get there, and he's passed out on the couch, just fucking elongated, right?
Out, yeah.
Out like that. And I'm like, oh, well, this sucks. 5 minutes later, he jumps up off the fucking thing. Swear to God, as God is my witness, runs over to me. I don't know this guy I've never met him in my life, right?
Yeah.
Fucking bear hugs me.
Yeah.
Gives me a kiss on the forehead, the cheeks, everything. And for the no lie, I got there at 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock that night, till 4 o'clock in the morning. Him and I stayed up listening to Elton John, James Taylor, and Carole King all fucking night. He had 2 cases of Anakin. I had 1 beer. He drank 2 fucking cases by himself.
Wow.
At 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm ready to go, right? Me and my girlfriend were like, okay.
Yeah.
We go to walk out the door. He walks us out, puts his arm around me, says, come on, bro, let's talk. And pulls me back in the house until 5 o'clock in the morning, where we sit on the couch for another hour. She falls asleep. Neil comes out of the room. He's like, look, if you guys are going to have butt sex, do it in the other room. He says, but I'm trying to get some fucking sleep in here. And that was the night. It was an amazing night.
Wow, dude.
Everyone I know who met him says similar
he's
stories.
one of the
He's just
nicest
a
guys
big
in the world.
teddy bear,
Yeah,
and just
one of the
super
nicest
nice
guys in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And articulate and smart.
Yeah, very smart.
So mine was, I was,
I thought it was B.B. King.
fuck, dude. Again, I work in the industry. I know, I run into these people all the time. I don't want to fucking act like a dipshit around
exactly.
them. Except, what's up, dude?
what's up?
Huh. So
Not even a watch on your head?
there's a fucking tattoo convention, and NIKKI SIXX is signing books there, right?
Yeah.
And I go, oh, well, I want to go to this tattoo convention and I want to meet Nick, have him sign my book. And so I'm, whatever, I think I'm going to be totally fine. Nothing even occurs to me that I'm going to fucking geek out or nothing. I'm just going to have to do sign my book, right? But, NIKKI SIXX, he wrote all these fucking songs that I related to when I was a kid, and, was like, oh, fucking Motley Crue, Motley Crue, Motley Crue. So I go to this fucking tattoo convention, dude, and I got like my clique of dudes with me. We're all there hanging out, and we all hop in line, right? And I start kind of get like fucking nervous, right? And I shut up, and everyone's like, "Fuck, are you all right?" And I'm like,
Unusually quiet for Stevie.
So Jimmy Arsenault tells this story the best, and I fucking wish that I had thought about this earlier. I'd have called him and had him on, right, to tell the story. But so I'm kind of just waiting. I'm fucking getting quiet. We finally get up to the fucking NIKKI SIXX, right? And he goes, "Hey, bro, how's it going? I'm Nicky." And I'm fucking
Nothing comes out.
nothing, right? And everyone's looking at me like,
Tinker Toys.
what the fuck? What's happening right now, right? And I'm just fucking, yeah, bro. So Jimmy leans in and he goes, his name is Steve. So Nicky goes, oh, cool. Hey, what's up, Steve? And now he's looking at me like I'm a fucking maniac, right? Like I'm gonna hurt him or some shit, right?
Yeah.
And right. And so people are fucking kind of like, what in the fuck is going on with this guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm Steve. Hey, yeah. Right. And he goes, so you got a book? And I'm, yeah, book, yeah. Hey, can you sign a book for my friend? Because it's my buddy Adam's birthday, like a week later, and he goes, yeah, man, no problem. What's your friend's name?
Crickets.
Right?
His name's Stevie.
And so then fucking Jamie leans in and goes, it's Adam. His name's Adam. Oh yeah, his name's Adam, and it's his fucking birthday next week. And now I'm just like, in my head, it's like alarm bells are going off.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Shut the fuck up, right? Except it's just coming out of my mouth. Like, I'm just drooling on myself, and here I am in front of NIKKI SIXX, and all these people are like, what in the fuck is going on with Steve right now? So finally he goes, okay, bro, well, it was good to meet you, and I've got all this shit that I want to say to him, right? And I unload, right?
Oh, shit.
Fucking this whole diatribe of shit, right? And I'm just like,
It's just been built inside.
oh, what in the fuck are you... And my mind is going, stop, dude, shut the fuck
You're like,
up.
I like oatmeal and Cheerios.
Yeah, right. I like eggs, I like a poached, I like a fried. Fuck, I like eggs. You like eggs, Nicky? Right. And Jimmy's like, fucking dude, let's
go.
Let's go. His security guy's kind of looking at me now, kind of getting a little antsy, right? And fucking Jimmy and Kenny are finally like, dude, we're splitting. Thank you, Nicky. He's stoked, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm totally stoked. And I walk away and I'm just like,
That's great.
what in the fuck did I just do?
I got a Motley
Santa
story.
Claus there,
I got a
Ralphie.
Motley story, but go ahead.
Oh my
We're talking
god,
about
dude.
if we ever met like our hero, like musician, and then they were either what we expected or not what we expected.
Or did you geek out like I did with Nicky?
I've geeked out one time. I mean, like like all of us apparently. I've had a lot of time to be around a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
Randomly, some of them come up to me. You know what I mean? Which is very odd. But there was one time I actually felt like a little schoolgirl. I remember I was at NAMM, and people were like, "Oh, hey, man, what was it like?" Testament signing autographs at and you get tickets for a concert. I was like, I know those guys. We're all from the Bay Area. I'm not gonna stand in line to say hi to someone that I see kind of often. They're like, well, why not? I'm like, well, the only person I would like stand in line maybe to see would be Stevie Wonder. But how crazy is that? I'm gonna stand in line, And right as I say that, I look over,
And he's right there.
and he's walking directly towards me with like 5 security people. I mean, I know I just said his name, and he's walking this way.
He has that power at NAMM. He just pops up out of nowhere.
Dude, so I just stare at him, and he's getting closer and closer, and all of a sudden he's just like, Stevie, I'm a big fan. And I've always played it cool, man.
I'm gonna sound clip that and put that on my website.
Right.
Stevie, I'm a big fan.
It's going on the next album.
Damn, I should have thought about that. Anyway, he kind of like tilts his head towards me and puts out a fist to fist bump him, and I like navigate like a dive through like 6 people. I don't know, children, women, I don't know. I dive over and I give Stevie Wonder a fist bump as he's walking by, and I just be like, everybody that was in our group talking, they all just looked at me like, did that just happen? I was like,
That's
yeah,
funny.
that just fucking happened.
That's cool.
I said his name, he appeared, he gave me a fist bump, and he's gone.
That's
like,
awesome.
Just like a phantom.
Magic.
Gone.
So the only time I ever actually geeked out, was just this folk singer named Todd Snyder. Most people don't even know who the hell he is, right? But he's been out since like '94, and I've loved his music ever since. So I went to a show in Santa Cruz at the Cumbia, whatever it's called, Jazz Center, and Cumbia, yeah. And afterwards, like I'm there, and he's in this room right there, right? And I'm like, fuck, I got all these albums, I want to get them signed, right? But I was like, I met most of my heroes except Angus, and I was terrified to meet this fucking guy. Like, absolutely terrified. I did not go up to him. I had my girlfriend go up to him and had all the shit signed. Yeah, and he's just this like folk singer. Like most people don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
But I just love his shit. But my Motley Crue story. So I was working at a Guitar Showcase and get a phone call one day in the rental department. Guy calls up, says, I think his name was Adam. Says, yeah, my name is, I'm Tommy Lee's tech. You know, they're playing the Flint Center tonight. Do you guys have an 88 key rolling keyboard? We're like, yeah. And he goes, you guys rent it? And we go, yeah. And he goes, can you deliver it? And I was like, he goes, I'll get you backstage passes. And I'm like, okay. So I put it in my car, right, and I drive it to the Flint Center, Cupertino.
I was at that show.
You were here? Yeah. Watch the show. No big deal. I didn't meet the band or anything like that, right? It was just basically tickets to the show. It wasn't backstage. 2 days later, phone rings. Can I speak to Bill? And I said, this is him. He goes, this is Adam again. He goes, you know, Tommy Lee's tech. He goes, we're playing Fresno tonight. Can you believe it? There's not a fucking 88 key anywhere within 100 miles of this place. He goes, can you bring it to me? He goes, I'll get you backstage passes, tickets for you and 2 of your friends plus dinner. And I was like, done. So I called 2 of my friends. One was in Santa Rosa, my friend Rob Harris and my other friend Paul. They both drove down. We hopped in the truck, drove down to Fresno, right? We get there. It was great. We freaking meet Mick Mars. He was the coolest dude. We hung out for like a half an hour in his dressing room. He was so down to earth. Tommy Lee and NIKKI SIXX had just gotten like jewels all over their body, right, on their tattoos and shit. And so we were hanging out talking to them. Really cool. My friend Rob Harris decides to break out a freaking Polaroid, right? Goes to take the picture. This fucking bodyguard who was like 12 feet tall, mohawk, right? Probably weighed 700 pounds, grabbed Rob by the shirt here, goes party foul, and just like in the movies, throws him right out the backstage door. The last we saw of Robert all night until we get out of the concert. He didn't even get to go into the concert. He missed the whole thing. Yeah, and that was the night they recorded their live album.
Fuck.
So, yep.
Yeah, man, that celebrity stuff is, I've never geeked out like that again.
Yeah,
The following week, we hung out with Tommy. We got fucking fucked up with Tommy Lee.
That was the following week?
The following week.
Damn.
We're drinking apple martinis till like 5 in the morning, dude. At the Edge in
Nice.
Palo Alto.
Oh, yeah, the
Fucking
Edge.
house. Oh
Cool
my
place,
god,
man.
dude.
Some crazy girls, man.
I missed the Edge.
Yeah, that was a good place, man. The Edge was a fun place. They had great shows.
That was the first place I ever played with my last band. Ever. Arsenault booked the show.
Yeah,
We opened up for Shaker.
Yeah, and I've heard this story a million
Yeah.
times. You're infamous.
Was the stage big enough?
No, you
Actually-
fucking poured beer like all over the fucking.
So here's what happened. I'm going to set the story straight here, okay?
Oh
so,
my god.
play
How
the show.
straight
This
this
is
story
the
is.
first time
Get ready to
I
edit
ever
this out.
fronted a band. First time we ever played live with this instrumental band, right? And it's opening for Michael Schenker, right? And it's like almost sold out. I forgot how many.
It was sold out.
It was sold out. Like,
Yeah.
How many people that place hold?
A lot. Like it was
1,000.
1,000 to 1,200 easily.
Yeah, I thought 1,200, okay? So, I'm like nervous as fuck. So before the show, I'm drinking beer. Last time I've ever done. Don't do that anymore, right? So at the end of the show, I had some beer on the stage in a bottle.
I've heard this story from like
Yeah.
4 different people
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah, so
Fucking hilarious.
So after the show was done, we do the big encore thing, and I grabbed the beer and I shook it like this, right? And I fucking launched it. Beer covered the fucking stage, dude, everywhere. And the fucking Michael Schenkers, you're never gonna fucking open for Schenker again. What the fuck was that, right? We opened up 2 or 3 more times for him after that. It was fucking great. But yeah, it was all, the fucking stage, everything was cut, equipment.
So that was like an infamous story.
Yeah.
Like, and we all heard it.
Which I didn't even know was an infamous story. I just thought fucking.
Well, yeah, Schenker, he played a lot of shows at the Edge. He did
Yeah.
a show for Jimmy and I at the theater. So, you start talking about Schenker, you start talking about like shit like that happens, right? And it's like, oh yeah, fucking, this fucking guy Bill. Let's just do a quick. Don't go away. We'll just wrap it up real quick.
I don't go away, man. Just go away.
Girl. All right, so our tape stopped, but hang out next week. That was us talking shit about celebrities we've met. And,
Must have been cool. Actually, I've never met a bad one. So.
oh, I've met plenty of
Yeah,
bad
I'm
ones.
sure. I'm sure they're out there. Maybe I'm
Oh.
just choosy.
Whew, I've met a couple. I met one dude that walked in and talked about folk singers. A folk singer from the Bay Area in giant bands through the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, all of it, right? Rolls right up to me and goes, I don't like your bad aura, bro. And I went, what? And he goes, yeah, your bad aura. And I was all, fuck that, right? And now I've got a bad aura.
Yeah.
And I had a shit day, and it was not good. But he was a fucking twat. I'll tell you who it is off air. So that was us talking shit. See you next time.
Hey, yeah. You gotta go rehearse now.
You gon' talk shit. You gon' get it. You gon' talk shit. You gon' get it.